This here is the new pinnacle of the French automotive industry. What can the French actually do? They want to show off with the DS No.8, and indeed it says No.8, like this abbreviation in the French language for a number, so like a Chanel No. 5 perfume, you know, so that is the thing they want to represent now, and it will also count for new models. This one here, actually a large luxury car. We're going to find out all the details here. You can already see illuminated front grille in the higher trims, also the illuminated DS logo. That looks pretty fancy. And this color here is called Crystal Pearl, so a rather bright color, and also here equipped with 21-inch forged wheels, the biggest ones that are available. You would start with 19-inch, but you could also get 20-inch, for example, here on this vehicle here, which is in topaz blue. So this is in the lower trim, 20-inch in the middle then, and also this is carrying a two-tone paint. So for example, the front hood is in black, and you can see this one does not have the illuminated front grille because this is the lowest trim or the entry-level trim, which is not bad. It will also be lower in the price, soon more about the pricing, which is very interesting. It's just that the illuminated grille is only for the top trim, and another higher trim vehicle we have back there. And interesting is that this one there is also in the crystal pearl color, just that this one here is under a different light, and it also has the two-tone scheme once again, and the transition here is really flawless. You cannot feel that at all, you cannot see that at all. It's really very well done. And this is also a new production method, which is at the same time also more sustainable. Then once again here the illuminated front grille in this higher trim. I think that looks really outstanding, really unique, definitely. This higher trim is, by the way, called Étoile. It also has then here a special badge in the front right there. Then about the facts and figures and so on. So this car here is overall 4.82 meters or 190 inches long. So especially for the European market, it is already a quite substantial length. And DS calls it SUV Coupe. I'm not so sure about that. I would maybe rather call it crossover. It could compete against the high trim in the VW ID.7. It could even compete against the Audi A6 e-tron. Maybe against the Polestar 4, something like that. And from the form, it reminds me, if you think about the Northern American market, also maybe of a Toyota Crown or something like that. What do you think about that? Here, by the way, the rear doors are opened right there. So it's a clever hidden mechanism. And then towards the rear, we have also very like screaming out design here with this crystalline look on the inside, then the vertical at the side. So indeed, they found a very unique approach, big lettering, DS Automobiles, and once again, the No.8. So I'm already looking forward so much to your comments, what you think about the exterior design. And when you hear me say it competes with the Audi A6 e-tron, the VW ID.7 or something like that, or a Polestar 4, yes, it's electric indeed. Their new flagship is supposed to be electric, and it has actually quite substantial large batteries, entry level at 74 kilowatt hours net. And the bigger battery is at 97 kilowatt hours net. And that will bring us, like in realistic values, at least some 500 kilometers or 300 miles of range in a like very pessimistic calculation. They even claim that they can reach up to 700 kilometers of range. But of course, we have to see about that at a later stage. The CD value is quite good with 19-inch wheels, though, at 0.24. So very efficient as for the aerodynamics. And when we can drive it, we can tell you more about that. As for recharging, look at that. There's this huge charging flap right there. And, well, it's actually protecting it against rain for sure. DC charging peak would be 160 kilowatt for the big battery. And they have already released a 20 to 80% state of charge minute figure of 27 minutes. So it will be more than 30 minutes when you go 10 to 80% state of charge. And AC charging will be 11 or 22 kilowatt. Then as for the power and the drivetrain, either front-wheel drive, 7.8 seconds in the acceleration figure. There's a version with the smaller battery and with the bigger battery. And then there's also with the big battery an all-wheel drive version available, which will be at 5.4 seconds in the acceleration figure. So that one already quite substantial from the performance. Then here always in the front you will have a camera, and the camera is also scanning the road in front of you. This is actually standard. It's an adaptive suspension that is scanning the road for you and then adapts the suspension according to what's coming on the road. However, if you go to the sport mode, then the camera is basically shut off and the suspension will always be like stiffer and sportier, so you can choose between these two modes. And it's interesting that you have so many features then as standard. For example, also a panoramic roof, which we'll also take a look at from the inside. And they actually say they have not used an electrochrome function or something because it didn't contribute to reducing the heating output much, more like 1 or 2%. It would have been, they tested all of that. That's why they went for this solution, and we're going to take a look at it from the inside very soon, because on the interior, which will be coming up now right now, you will have so many different solutions you've maybe never seen before. And for us Germans is of course always very important, how fast does it go maximum speed on the German Autobahn? And this one can do 190 kilometers an hour, so 118 miles per hour. I would say that is sufficient for the German Autobahn. And here, look at that, the turning indicator, really spectacular in this vertical scheme. And while you go to the rear, I also let you listen to the sound. Yeah, this is a definitely unique turning indicator sound on the interior, and look at that on the rear. Wow. So this is definitely very visible, also playing with light. And here we go. So the door handles, when you open it with the key, when you approach the vehicle, they would pop out automatically. This is at the moment the show mode, where it doesn't do it automatically, so I have to do it manually. Then do it like this, and then door closing sound. Sounds solid, just like door handles that they pop back a little bit. And here in the rear, yeah, also quite solid. Then interior, and this is here like a top Alcantara trim. Look at that, inside of the door, everything with Alcantara. That's awesome. 8-speaker system or 14-speaker optional focal sound system, also with a very nice graphic. Here's some illumination, and they really try to do a lot that everything is unique here. The structure on the buttons right there, and on the inside you have this structure, and then also some felt at the bottom of the doors, for example. And then look at that interior with a steering wheel that is maybe transported like from a Formula 1 car in a bigger size here with that grip here. This is also an animal-free material, and it's also soft underneath, so that you can really push it in. So great build quality here for the steering wheel, also here for the pod. There's also a high-grade leatherette, for example. More Alcantara there, digital instruments. And these seats here are also the top trim Alcantara seats. You can get this étoile trim with some fabric here, and it would be like this would be in fabric in the first step, and then optionally everything Alcantara, so also the inside there. And this is also in the version which is cooled, so ventilated. And yeah, they're really comfy, the seats. The Alcantara is a good quality, also with the perforation and so on. It's an unusual seating position because I feel that from the outside it does not look SUV at all to me. But when you sit on the inside, you feel this crossover atmosphere. You sit a little bit higher and so on. And then with 189 or 6'2", there's this much headroom to the panoramic glass roof, which again has no tinting, no cover. They say they have a special insulation against heat anyway, but we know, yes, this will do something, but will still get hotter here than if it would be a closed roof. And like, do you actually see that, like the position here, how I hold the steering wheel, and the steering wheel itself, like here, has this X shape for the very first time. This is so extremely unique, probably like anything you've ever seen before in a serious production vehicle. And also like how you grab the steering wheel is really more like you sit like in a race car or something like that. It's really interesting. And then here, these buttons here, okay, they are like, the whole thing is one button, and then you have capacitive control of it. That's maybe not my favorite, honestly. But the digital instruments already look quite fancy, and I really appreciate that everything is covered in Alcantara no matter where you look, and that they really carried out this scheme here, and everything also in this bluish note. There are different interiors available. I'm soon going to show you another one, but let's continue with the cockpit here. And if you wonder how I'm supposed to close the door, like it's really here, like behind this sound system. Interesting, right? So, so many things you have to learn in this vehicle because they just done things differently. And look at that again with the cockpit perspective. Really lovely done with the Alcantara here, and then also here this matte aluminum finish, some fabric. You can also hear it on top of the dashboard, and the very wide screen format here, 16-inch. really small in height, you know, but really very wide. Then the temperature unit is here in the screen. At least it's always there and always visible. And then also a separate part for the passenger. They try to, make it really long that you can access it from both seats here in a quite easy way. Then this is like the main unit, like here for example, and also for seat massage and so on. Yeah, it might not be the quickest system, but at least the overview is quite okay. And then here they will also have a calculation of charging stops when you set in like a destination and so on. So it automatically calculates that. There's a preheating also available, and the heat pump is also standard. This one here isn't here like that. It's like also with, maybe from Tesla, like with Alcantara covered inductive charging pad where you can charge your phone wirelessly. And then here the shifting lever is integrated. Also beautiful, these small structures there on the inside, so that's pretty cool. This here actually also really soft, and here you can open it for a cup holder. This is not adaptive though then. Drive mode will be selected right here. There, I was talking about the sport mode where the adaptive suspension is basically deactivated. Normal mode, it's doing that, and in the eco mode then as well. And then here, this is also really soft for your elbow, high-grade leatherette. Open it like that. Some more space underneath. Yeah, this, not sure if it will be the same way in the final vehicles. It was in other final vehicles like that, also with Peugeot and Citroën. So yes, here and there you find some, let's say, known Peugeot and Citroën details. But I applaud them for being like, let's say, hey, let's be different. But it's different in the stylish way. It's not different to say like, can't do that, you know what I mean? Especially with the seats here, they look great, and yeah, they're also decently comfortable. Yeah, also cool here with the illuminated logo and the inside of the seats. And look at that. This is, yeah, it's not a convertible, but it does feature the option of a neck heater. That's really astonishing, isn't it? So we've never had a neck heater in a non-convertible car. So you can have like a warm breeze in your neck, maybe like it helps against headache or something like that. And then here in the lower part, there's like an open console, also covered here with some like velour fabric, and you can also slide this one open, and then you have here more cup holders and USB-C chargers. I wonder though, I mean, you can also put that out here for more space, but if you want to put bottles right there, I'm not sure if that's really easy to access them. So this is maybe, let's say, from a practical sense, not the best idea, but yeah, at least you also have the more accessible one on the top here. So yeah, I mean, what a cockpit here. Also, by the way, the glove box, also properly dampened. Not, oh, there's the key. I was searching for that one. So here DS logo, but in general, it's the typical Peugeot Citroën key fob. It's not too bad. It's actually quite heavy also, so it feels quite nice also quality-wise. And we also have a head-up display. Look at that, with a large map visualization. Oh, and the back mirror, by the way, either normal one, but the window in the rear is really small, and then you can change the camera view. There we can see also one of our vehicles here in the studio. So then you have this digital view to the rear seating area. So first of all, also material-wise, this one again, the Alcantara interior for the rear, and there are different quality grades of microfiber, and from the looks and also from the feel, and even from Alcantara itself, they offer different quality grade. And it's often about like the softness and the thickness also. And this, I have to say, is one of the best Alcantara grades I have yet to discover. You know, it's and at the same time, it is also from recyclables, or also, you know, this more sustainable approach. So yeah, that's really cool. And also for the rear, especially here, you can fold down. Oh, there we go. Cup holders, they are somewhat adaptive, let's say. Yeah, and that's again what I mean. So sometimes you open something and then you discover like the standard Peugeot or Citroën solutions, which are more not that premium, but they try to minimize these effects. You know, when you had like very early DS vehicles, you could just see like, yeah, okay, they get a Peugeot or Citroën, put 10 cows in it and pretend it's premium. This has changed now. This is like a standalone vehicle here, and they have done so much to really make it unique and standing out from the sister brands here. And as for the space we have here, so here when I'm driving as a tall driver, still have knee room left. Headroom is getting close, but still works for tall adults, so that's okay. The form itself, with the rear bench, you have to think about, you also have to house the battery here in the lower part. It reminds me a little bit of the Mercedes EQS, so maybe it's, let's say, a little bit of a compromise. You fall back a little bit, so it's more like a sedan experience here when you sit in the rear. And also really nice that even at the rear doors, they're all the way covered in Alcantara. We can take a look at that right here. This is beautiful, and we do not see this kind of material use, which is extremely expensive also for the manufacturer, in vehicles that are maybe like double the price, you know. So I have to say, in a world where even like German premium manufacturers go for more and more cost cutting, they here said say like, go for it. And I think that's a cool choice. Only lower part, this structuring is hard, but at least it's the structure, and you have at least like a felt bottom that when you put things there, they don't fly around so much. So yeah, very interesting rear. Also here, you have a climate unit. It's not powered here at the moment, still in the show mode, but there you could also then change the temperature and stuff. And below that, these are two USB-C chargers now. Although they look USB-A, they are USB-C. By the way, here you can already see dual insulation for the front window on the side and also the rear window at the side. Also here, dual insulation. And different color and material choice. So this is here the base trim level Palace. And this is also with the leatherette. So the slick surface that can be cleaned easier, maybe the solutions then if you have kids. This is available either here in this brighter gray or also a completely black leatherette would be possible. It's very soft, good quality, so nice choice. Some fabric on the outside, and it's also decently comfortable. I think it's a matter of preference really. This has a more brighter atmosphere, but also again the combination with the blue and also the leatherette steering wheel. I like both actually. Yeah, I mean, the Alcantara solution is maybe like it's a little bit racier, and also when you have like the additional pack with the seat ventilation, but this one also does it very nicely, so it's really just a matter of which material do you prefer actually. This is here, by the way, the camera for the back mirror, and then we have the rear view camera, which is a little bit lower to show you that you don't crash against anything. Right below the number 8, this fragrance. Here, press this button, open the trunk, 620 liters, and it's a fastback opening. You can see it right here. The cabin trolley is housed underneath, no problem, also in the vertical way. And this is here approximately 1 meter or 40 inches in width. And the length here is about 1 meters 10 or 43 inches. And the height here is actually not too high. Gotta show that to you, because otherwise when we don't remove that, no one could see it. And this is like the advantage also of this fastback opening mechanism, that you can have this access then here to the trunk. And then here the top height is 72 centimeters or 28 inches. I already folded one half, like you can go also for the middle ski hatch, it's also possible, but you have to go around to fold the seats. And here, by the way, you can lift up this one, then fold it up like this, put something underneath, but also can remove the whole thing if you like. And in the front, interesting, yeah, subwoofer is hidden underneath that. Yeah, that solution is, I don't know, yeah, but that's the main reason to use this cover here, to hide the subwoofer, and then this goes over that. Okay, and let's see what awaits us under the hood. I pulled it twice, by the way, from the interior, like BMW is using, and yeah, there is no frunk, so they hide some tech in here, and this is, by the way, the charger here just for the studio for the 12-volt starter battery. So yeah, not much to do here other than refilling the wiper fluid. So it's already, let's say, very likely that this will also be the next vehicle for the French President Macron, and also for whoever will be president next, because yeah, most likely the President of France will drive the most sophisticated vehicle from their own production, from their own country, and this is definitely it here. The question is just, how much money does President Macron have to pay? Not sure if he has to pay for that, but then again, is it legal that he doesn't? Well, will I let them sort that out? It will be for the customers, starting below 60,000 euros with the small battery, then below 65,000 euros with the bigger battery. And if it stands here like this, with all the extras you have in there, like also with the special Alcantara interior, ventilated seats and everything, and the 21-inch forged wheels, 85,000 euros. not cheap at all, of course. They really want to compete with the other premium brands, and it will be very interesting to see if any Audi, BMW and Mercedes customers, for example, can be convinced with this. What is quite clear is that they found such a unique approach, which is very different to all the other manufacturers, and that they also managed it to be a standalone vehicle inside the whole corporation, which is meanwhile Stellantis, not only like PSA, like Citroën and Peugeot. They are in this Stellantis corporation, which was the merger of PSA and the Fiat corporation. So many different brands under one hood. So it is a challenge to stand out then as a single brand in this large corporation. I think they have achieved that one here very well. It will be super interesting if the customers will also honor that. What do you think? Tell me about it, your opinion in the comments, and we can also directly compare the EV competitors.